Good news, Ma. We won Show of the Year for the Wrestling Radio Awards.
What? I finally get to walk the red carpets? It's about fucking time. I want my Emmy.
Ma, there's no actual award. I told you before. Stop acting like you're the only reason why we got this shit anyway.
Oh, bullshit. Who the fuck are you kidding?
Oh, Mom.
It's time for another wrestling podcast.
All right. Welcome to another wrestling podcast. This is episode 180. I'm your Mark of Marks, Credo.
And I'm the social assassin, everyone's favorite asshole, Angry Cooter, Bitches.
That's right, and Minority Mike is not with us today. He'll be calling in later for a special segment.
You mean AWP's version of Booker T?
Oh, well, for the past few weeks, we've been giving it hard to Booker, and now Mike's not here. What happened? Was he replaced?
Well, no, I was just laughing because we were talking about Elias singing and all that, and he was talking about how he heard him singing Freebird by Led Zeppelin. Great fact-checking, Mike. You are the next Booker T. It wasn't Led Zeppelin, fucker. It was Leonard Skinner. I mean, really, who doesn't know that?
Well, there you go. Guys, today on the show, we have Kasey Catal. If you guys haven't seen her, she's been in the Northeast. She's been wrestling with Northeast Wrestling. She is now joining our Poughkeepsie's own Hale Collins. She's part of the Now, while Vic Delicious is recovering from his brutal leg injury. So she'll be joining us on the show, talking about the show this weekend in Bethany, Connecticut for Northeast Wrestling. Make sure you head on over to northeastwrestling.com for tickets. We'll be there, as always, so she'll be joining us in a little bit. But Cooter, we got a little gloating to do, I guess. You know, we won the Show of the Year and the Broadcast Brand of the Year for the Wrestling Radio Awards. You know, could you believe that we got the Show of the Year? Beat some shows off from Sirius, some other podcasts, but nobody, I guess, could compare to another wrestling podcast. Now that we're Show of the Year.
Yeah, I want to use the same joke, Credo, that I used when we accepted the award. I heard it was such a landslide that we won. It was such a lopsided victory. It was as lopsided as, say, Charlotte's tits.
Well, there you go. Uncensored on this one this time around.
I know, right? God forbid the day she hears this. Like, I'm actually going to feel bad. It is just comedy after all, though. Come on.
It is.
With a thing like this, I mean, I have plenty you can make fun of, Charlotte. I mean, really, just come on.
But hey, guys, thanks for everybody who voted for us. It's been amazing. I mean, for the past 3 years, we've been doing this. You know, we've won some WRAs in the past, but the one that kept getting away from us, Cooter, was the Show of the Year, and we finally have that under our belts now. And
the la creme, brother. We got to thank the fans for voting for us. So thank you for all the time spent clacking away on those keyboards, you know, giving us those fucking votes. Because you know what? We are the champs, bitches. Thank you.
That's right, guys. Show of the Year and Broadcast Brand of the Year. We have the championship, the Broadcast Brand of the Year championship to prove it. I'm not going to be a mark, though, and bring it to shows, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that guy. But, hey.
And he's not going to let me hold it either.
I'll give you some holding time, Cooter. You can hold the belt.
Yeah. Come on, man. There you go.
But, guys, you know, last week, Cooter, we had a great debate, the great UK debate. If you didn't hear it, we cut it out. It's on our YouTube page, youtube.com/anotherwrestlingpod. Can't fit podcast, so I can only fit half the name on there. Another Wrestling Pod on YouTube. So subscribe to us. The great UK debate is on there, Cooter. We talked about, I feel that the UK championship, you know, should only be defended in the UK and by UK talent. And Cooter disagreed, rightfully so, but we got some calls on there. Some people who agreed with you, some people who agreed with me. Let's see what they had to say, though.
Credo, shame! For shame, Credo! Goddamn, man! Was the European Championship only, booked in Europe? No! What the hell are you talking about? I cut that segment of when you said UK-ish. That was like 38 seconds in. What do you mean? Are you saying this just to stir the pot, brother? No, it shouldn't just be defended in the UK. That's stupid. That's like saying the United States Championship should only be defended in the States. Stop. Have a debate about, like, the WWE Championship and the Universal Belt or something. You know? This one sucks. But you got me angry, so it doesn't suck. Whatever. No, it sucks. I'm going back to my original statement. That's it.
Hey, this is Here Is Art calling in about this United Kingdom Championship nonsense. That's exactly what it is, complete and utter nonsense. I don't see the need for yet another belt in a promotion of WWE that has trouble enough keeping their main shows interesting. I've heard a lot of talk about people saying that it should go to NXT. NXT needs another championship. The last thing NXT needs is another championship. NXT is, for me, lost its flavor. It's supposed to be a place where guys go and, they strive for excellence. And, adding in another title there would just be utterly ridiculous. They need to go ahead and scrap 205 Live, too. The entire Cruiserweight division needs to go away. There should be no such thing as a Cruiserweight division. It's just bringing guys down, making them look like sideshow acts, for God's sakes. It's just completely and utterly ridiculous. Guys like Drew Gulak being paraded around like some sort of character. Drew Gulak isn't a goddamn character. He's a goddamn technical wizard. Then you got guys like Tony Nese, incredible athlete, doing absolutely nothing. And just terrible. If you want to do anything with these United Kingdom wrestlers, showcase them. Bring them into the fold. But don't parade them around with a meaningless title. I mean, the UK Championship, what has it done since its inception? Absolutely nothing. I mean, you got Pete Dunne walking around with it, but it means absolutely nothing. And Pete Dunne, one of the best English wrestlers on the planet right now. If you people want WWE to bring in English talent, just bring them in and let them do the things they do in the wrestling world. That's what needs to be done. So UK title, complete and utter garbage, needs to be thrown away. Credo, you know what's up, brother. Keep it real.
I'm making a shirt that says, I'm an angry cooter guy right now. I agree with everything Cooter said. Credo, I think you were being coy, but there was good points from Cooter and the other guy. Not from you, though, Steve. Yeah, I mean, I think the television title idea is great. That's why I love WCW Saturday night. I used to get to see Arn Anderson every week. Working horse title to me is always going to be the Intercontinental title. I think Cooter's 1,000% right. You're overthinking it. And just, oh, god damn. Way overthinking it. UK title, UK-ish? You use that phrase. They were probably paying homage to Wade Barrett because he came up from NXT or something, man. And just, I don't know why, but you got under my goddamn skin, Credo. You're coy. Coy Credo. Yeah, you don't have to be UK-ish. And I put the Universal Belt first because of the one it is. The one they use for it, obviously. And then the WWE Championship, ever since they changed it. But then The Rock put it back from spinning, thank God. But yeah, that's where I am with that debate. You ladies take care. All right, Cooter, I love you.
Great conversation, guys. I can see everyone's point in this. My opinion, the UK Championship doesn't matter if it's a UK wrestler, US wrestler, Japanese wrestler. Doesn't matter who's holding the championship, but it's been defined as a regional title. That was the point to begin with when they had the tournament. I think the title should only be defended in the UK. On the same note, that also says to me, what about the US Championship? Same thing there. US Championship should only be defended in the United States. As far as a secondary title for NXT, I think it might be time. We can't really do a television championship just because it's not on television. Maybe it's time to finally have a network championship. Those are my thoughts. Love you guys. Great shows every week. Angry Cooter always has me in stitches. I would like to make one request. What does Angry Mom Cooter have to say about the UK Championship? Listen to you guys soon. Have a great one.
I'm still pissed that they took away the original NWA championship belt. Bring that back. That's the real title. You know? So, stop bickering about the UK-ish thing. But I'm all for it, because Credo's coy, and I'm an angry Cooter guy. So, you know, have that.
Well, let me ask you a question. How much did you pay that fucking Mark to agree with you, Credo? Come on now. You know you must have paid him a handsome sum, because it was almost word for word of what you had to say about it.
On AWP, we were fair and balanced. We simply stated that
Oh, yeah, sure we are.
If you called our hotline, 802-297-7672, that's 802 AWP 7672. You could let us know your thoughts on our little debate that we had going, and they called in and they rightfully spoke for themselves. So you know how it goes. But yeah, guys, anytime you want to call us, leave us some love. Tell us how much you love us. Tell us how much you hate us. Whatever you want to call us for, just leave a message. We'll play the best calls on the show each and every week. But once again, Cooter, I just want to remind everybody, coming up on March 2nd and the 3rd, our buddy Lanny Poffo is coming up here to WrestleFest in Waterbury, Connecticut for March 2nd. We're also bringing him to Poughkeepsie at Darkside Records for a little Q&A session, too. We're going to have a little meet and greet with the fans, and then a little live Q&A where you can ask Lanny Poffo anything you want. And then that night we'll be up in Rensselaer, New York at Heroes Hideout from 5 to 7. Head on over to anotherwrestlingpodcast.com. All the information's on there, but you don't want to miss it. Now, the one reason you don't want to miss it is because he's not only bringing Lanny Poffo, the genius himself, he's also bringing his brother's Hall of Fame ring. And now, how many times can you say you wore the Macho Man's Hall of Fame ring, Cooter, right?
Twice.
Well, okay, you can, but everybody else out there, for the people who haven't worn it, but make sure you come on out that weekend, guys. It's gonna be great. Maybe we'll have an after party somewhere. Get Lanny drunk, and then get a real Q&A event going. Have all the darker stories come out. I don't know. There's gotta be something.
We should take him to Pauling, where you can pretty much do wherever you want, right, Credo?
Anything that happens in Pauling stays in Pauling.
Stays in Pauling.
But there you go, guys. Cooter, it's been a crazy week again. So let's just get right into the week that was, shall we? They're keeping us guessing from what I see. The next two pay-per-views before WrestleMania, the cards are just stacked with the championships, if you will. The chamber match is now a 7-man chamber match with Rollins being thrown in there, and with Rollins and Finn Balor being thrown in there. And even Fastlane is now a fatal 5-way. Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin are on the match too. Cooter, we have these two stacked championship matches. One's going to decide who's going to fight Brock for the championship at WrestleMania, and then the other's for AJ Styles' WWE Championship. But I mean, a fatal 5-way and now a 7-man chamber. Are they just trying to keep us guessing? Or is it going to be too obvious that it's going to Roman Reigns or something like that? What do you think about this? Is it just too many guys in these main events?
Oh, God. Well, let's start with the chamber. How does this work now? Do we start it off as a triple threat? Is that what's going to happen? That's pretty cool. But you know what? Unfortunately, it's just because Seth Rollins, his partner is injured. He had nothing to do. They had nothing to do for him.
Thank God. Anyway, yeah.
Mr. I'm just happy to be here, smiling Jason Jordan. I mean,
take your time,
come
Jason. On. Take your time, healing baby.
Yeah, please.
Take your time.
I couldn't agree with you more on that one. But, dude, seriously, Seth Rollins is too great of a talent not to be had on this card or the WrestleMania card. So we got to fit him in some kind of storyline somewhere. And I got a really good feeling that a lot of the matches that we're going to get from WrestleMania are going to be because of this Elimination Chamber. Not just the whole Brock, whoever wins gets to face him ordeal. I think you're going to further other storylines for that brand with that match. That being said, I couldn't have been more surprised at what they did in SmackDown. I thought this was great, taking a simple triple threat and now making it this is the second Fatal 5-Way in recent memory, too. Didn't we just have one last week on Raw, Credo?
They're stacking it, man, and it's just, I guess, does it keep you guessing, though? I mean, because now it's not maybe as obvious. Roman might win. I guess that's what we're all leaning to, but anything could happen now. I mean, it's anybody's fair game, I guess. They're really just trying to, I guess, finalize what they really want to do for Mania. Who knows?
What do you think about the SmackDown thing, though? I mean, it's obvious we're getting AJ Styles versus Nakamura. We can't throw too much smoke and mirrors in there to really take us away from that. We've been waiting for this for God knows how long. They're not going to blow this opportunity, are they?
That's the thing, man. It's keeping us guessing because we'll get into it in a little bit, but Dolph Ziggler just re-signed with the WWE for 2 years and making bank, if I might add. We'll talk about that in a minute, but so he just re-signed. Baron Corbin, I don't see him winning the championship. He's definitely a filler for that. But even, Kevin Owens, who was a Universal Champion, who was an Intercontinental Champion, I mean, he's just been lacking a championship. And even Sami Zayn, who, lastly was an NXT Champion. I mean, he hasn't seen any WWE main roster gold as of yet. But, I mean, anything could happen. It's almost like, okay, well, what if you do take the belt off of AJ? Do you still have that Nakamura AJ match, or do you put it on Dolph Ziggler and now you have a 3-way at WrestleMania? To where you have Nakamura, AJ Styles, and Dolph. That'd be one hell of a match. It's guessing, man. I have no idea, and that's what I think they really want us to do is just keep having these guesses of what really could happen. No, I don't know.
And it's funny because I've been saying that about the whole Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn storyline where I didn't know where it was going. I don't know how it's going to end, and I'm actually okay with that, and I'm enjoying it as it keeps going because it's not getting stale, and you are keeping me guessing.
Yeah.
But that being said, moving along, what do we got next on the docket, bitch?
Well, like I just said too, with Dolph Ziggler re-signing, Sports Illustrated reported that he recently signed a new contract, and he will pocket $1.5 million per year for 2 years. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of
money, baby, as Virgil would say.
I'll tell you what, that's a lot of money for just jobbing. So I really hope they have plans for Dolph. Man, the dude deserves a championship run. He does it all. He sells. He fucking works. He can talk. He can do it all. Give the guy another shot. Spice it up a little bit. Give us something different. And you know what? With that kind of money, I really would love to see it, whether it's a month or two, just give Dolph the championship again. Because, I mean, when he won it last time, it was a cash-in. And then even after that, he got a concussion and had to, get rid of it right away or lost it right away. So,
I mean, we put that title on Jinder fucking Mahal. We can't put it on Dolph Ziggler for, a couple days,
I know. I'm saying. It's a lot of money, like I was saying, a lot of money just to be doing nothing. So hopefully they have some kind of bigger picture with Dolph. So we'll see what happens. I mean,
do you think that's defensive though, Credo? I mean, is that just to stop him from going to another promotion? Because you see a lot of these big names leaving. You got your Cody Rhodes, potentially a Neville leaving, even though he's still listed on the 205 Live roster. But it's like these guys are making bank on the scene. Is it just say, hey, you know what? We don't want another big name WWE guy hitting the indies and getting paid. If we want to keep them and keep the eyes on our product, do we got to start paying these guys before they leave if we're just going to job them out?
Well, we're going to be talking about in a little bit about shining the spotlight on some of the current superstars, and hopefully that spotlight hits Dolph Ziggler this year to where they kind of recognize what he really can do. And, I don't know. It's a different ball game. I guess we're just going to have to find out and see what happens with this. But it's interesting, though. That's a lot of money for 2 years, so we'll see what happens. Now, Cooter, I just remembered there's a lot of talk going on that pretty soon it's being reported that they're going to go back to unified pay-per-views, and now each brand is not going to get their own pay-per-view. From what I understand is that the storylines are being stretched out too far just for that one brand to make it to their next pay-per-view. And I think not each pay-per-view is selling out the way it should. So I think they're really trying to go back to like a co-branded pay-per-views to where we might see the Raw and SmackDown, sharing pay-per-views. Like they're not going to have each of their own pay-per-view, basically what I'm saying. So from what I understand, and it could be reported within the next few weeks or maybe after WrestleMania, we'll see. But I think from what I hear, it could go this way. Do you think that's smart? Do you think that's what they need? Because honestly, from what I heard too, it might move the storylines a little bit faster. And it's like I said, so they don't really have to drag it out. And it's just star power. I mean, if like SmackDown's having a pay-per-view and it's like, what's the main event? At one point, yeah, you want to see it, but then it's like just adding all the other talent on there will make it such a better show or a bigger show. But then,
oh God, I couldn't disagree with you more.
You think that's a smart move? Just to
I think it's a terrible move. I think. All right, you have the big four where you have both brands. I think you can get away with doing that to a couple of more pay-per-views. I think you can do that for Money in the Bank. I think you can do that for the Elimination Chamber because it would be cool to see, different brands vying for the Money in the Bank. It would be cool to see guys from both brands in the Elimination Chamber fighting for some type of title shot or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes sense to me. But I mean, other than that, you're just going to get the same. If they don't do a good job of giving us different people on these pay-per-views, it's really going to fuck shit up. Because, I mean, you're guaranteed going to have a Roman Reigns match on every fucking card now, which is just going to make me want to turn it off. If you their whole idea is we need more star power on every card, so let's cram as many stars or people that they think are stars to where the fans aren't necessarily, connecting or agreeing with who the fuck they think are stars. It's just going to make for, I think, worse buy rates because, I mean, hey, what's great about seeing a SmackDown only pay-per-view, I'm not going to worry about seeing Roman Reigns going, and doing his fucking 30 Superman punches and a spear, is one pay-per-view we're going to have the Raw Women's title defended?
Yeah,
or
that's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it's going to be hard to mix it up with the fact that you have two major titles, two sets of tag titles, two women's titles, and two secondary titles. It's like, what are you going to put on the card? And it better be worth my while if I'm, going to see this. Because what I've been enjoying about these co-branded cards is the fact that, hey, you know what? You're getting 2 to 3 different championship matches on there for that brand. And I think they're doing a great job with keeping these storylines a reasonable length. I don't want faster rush storylines. I like a nice long draw out, draw that shit out.
Yeah.
Reel me in like you've been doing with Sammy and Kevin Owens. I think that's been great. What's the fucking problem? If you do it right, it shouldn't be an issue.
No, for sure. And if this does happen, I mean, just from you talking, I'm just thinking, I'm like, well, yeah, it does make sense because it's like every pay-per-view is going to be like a champion, like all the championships, of championships. And it's almost like in my head that you almost might have to unify the women's championship. You almost might have to unify the tag team championships to where now that tag team can go from show to show or that woman can go from show to show. But then you still have a lot of women that aren't doing anything. And then even with this unified pay-per-view, then you have a lot of people who aren't just doing anything each and every month on a show. So a lot of people are going to get left off. A lot of things. It's wacky right now. But it was definitely reported from a reliable source on Cooter, the dirt sheets. I mean, You all know how that happens.
Here's the other thing. You've often said that if you're not in the title picture, when we would talk about the women's division and how poorly it was being booked for a little while there, if you're not in the title picture, we got nothing for you. I think potentially harms the talent, not just, on screen, but I mean, hey, if you're not getting pay-per-view bonus check, I mean, that's going to hit your pocket too, bro.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Anything could happen this year. 2018 is going to be quite the interesting year in wrestling. But, another Hall of Famer is headed to, not another Hall of Famer, another person is headed to the Hall of Fame.
There you go.
Ivory. Ivory's headed into the Hall of Fame, Cooter. Well-deserved. I mean, this woman, was one of the original ladies of Glow, and then made her way through the wrestling world into the WWE, and talented. She was definitely a wrestler. She wasn't a diva. She was a wrestler. That's basically how I could describe Ivory. Just seeing you, definitely one of the most athletic women we've seen wrestle in the WWE. What are your thoughts on Ivory making it to the Hall?
I think it's well-deserved. I mean, she had a really good career. I still remember the Right to Censor shit that she was in after her initial run, and that was just really fun, real fun stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact that you had the Godfather in there protesting, no longer using the Ho train, and oh God, what was it? Stevie Richards was in that shit.
Val Venus, right? Yeah, a lot of people.
Val Venus was another one, yeah. With these off the wall gimmicks, all of a sudden, no more. And she was one of them, and she really, I think, brought that group together.
Wearing pants
it was fun.
And wearing like you're like totally
a white
covering up.
Shirt and a tie. I'm like,
compared to what she used to wear, but yeah.
And
so we got the woman this year to the Hall of Fame. We got Goldberg, the Dudley Boys, now Ivory. We're still waiting on a few more names this year, but definitely well-deserved for Ivory. I don't think we really can say much more, but welcome to the Hall of Fame, right?
Absolutely, Credo.
Last but not least, Cooter, Rich Swann has been officially released on the man's birthday. Apparently, it was a mutual release to where they both decided, it wasn't just like, hey, they both decided to part ways, I guess. But I guess that's just really being nice to where, hey, they didn't want to hire you back. And especially with what's going on now, with everybody just getting, it's a sensitive year this year where, you really can't do anything. And, granted, his charges were dropped. He had a confrontation with I believe it was his girlfriend, and there was assault charges, but they were dropped. Nobody wanted to press charges. But, I mean, it's not just like any kind of charge. I mean, with everything happening, especially Enzo Amore released for allegations of rape, I mean, it's kind of bad PR, I guess, if they hired him back and now it's in the news that, WWE hired a guy who assaulted a woman back. And, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And poor Rich Swann, though, I guess, even though he wasn't charged, he was let go. I guess, I don't know.
What is it with these cruiserweights? Can't they keep them hands to themselves? I mean, really? No, I'm just kidding. It sucks, man, because, I mean, Rich Swann was an incredible performer. I wasn't really digging the character, the whole dancing bullshit, but, I mean, the stuff that guy could do in the ring was fucking amazing. It just sucks. But, like, I could just imagine Rich Swann, like, all I can think of is the Chappelle Show with the Wayne Brady skit. Is Wayne Brady going to have to choke a bitch? I don't know why. When I heard that, that's all I could think of for some reason. I don't know.
And I thought like the perfect time to bring him back would have been this cruiserweight tournament because it's just another name, and he could be added to it even if he lost. You know what I mean? Just like another name to be like, oh, Rich Swann's back. Okay. But I guess it's just too much going on right now to really let him back in this environment. I mean, if it was a mutual, let go from the company to where they both agreed and whatnot, it wasn't just like, hey, they fired him. I guess maybe they really got to let things lay low for a little bit, and maybe we'll hire him back in years to come, or who knows. But bye, Rich Swann.
That's a shame, man. That's a shame. I mean, that tournament is only 16 people, and we got the last 2 matches for the first round next week. And there's just some weird names. There's not really any star power from this tournament. Like, there's not that one really big – they got some great names in there, don't get me wrong. You got a Roddy Strong. I'm surprised you didn't put a Pete Dunne in there to try to, raise his stock up a little bit. You got Buddy Murphy next week, bro, in a match, which to me, little intriguing. Okay. I want to see this because, I mean, I don't know if you saw the vignette with him where he was training and all that stuff because he's not typically a 205. So he had to cut a lot of weight. Dude looks fucking amazing. Shredded, dude. I mean, let's see what this guy can do as a 205 competitor. Maybe he might surprise us.
As you said that, I just Wikipedia'd him. How much do you think he weighs?
Honestly, probably about 220, 215.
Well, right now his build weight is 204.4.
Right, because that's what they weighed him in at. Yeah.
So
that was during the vignette where they had an official weigh-in.
Yeah.
So they had him on the scale, and he came right in 204.4. Yeah, that's the joke. So it's not like you got me on anything, Credo.
There you go. I didn't even realize that. I missed that this week. I haven't.
It's because you don't watch. You can't fuck with the great one. Social assassin, baby.
Can't keep up. But guys, that was the week that was. Joining us now, one half of the new now, if you will, is going to be joining us, Kasey Catal, right now. All right, joining us today is somebody you may have seen recently on Northeast Wrestling. She's making a name for herself over here, so we're going to talk to her today. Kasey Catal is joining us live. Kasey, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
Doing good. Now, Kasey, this weekend for Northeast Wrestling Retribution in Bethany, Connecticut, you will be with Hale Collins while he takes on Tyler Nitro. What can the fans expect from you? Because the last time we saw you in Bethany, Connecticut, you left Ron Zombie a little bit in pain, I guess, with his eyes. You made a name for yourself, if you will.
Yeah, you know what? No one was expecting me to come out. The last time people saw me was a couple months ago versus Caitlin Diamond. And, I've been seeing the things that Vic has been going through. And I saw that, Hale needs someone to help him out. And I wanted to help him out and show everybody that we are a force to be reckoned with. So it's going to be a really good fight. And Tyler Nitro kind of doesn't stand a chance. So everybody should come and check it out this Saturday.
Definitely. Now, before we get too much into it, I mean, we're going to see you this weekend, but how did this journey begin for you? I mean, how did you make your way into the pro wrestling universe, if you will? I mean, where did it all start? When was the time where it was like, you know what, I'm going to be a pro wrestler? Is there that moment for you? Is there a time where you just knew this is what you wanted to do?
There was. Well, every good story starts off with a guy, right? So I ended up becoming very good friends with this guy, and I wasn't a wrestling fan, and, I was an athlete growing up and a professional dancer, but I had met this guy, and he was a wrestler, and he's like, hey, come to my show, this Saturday, and I was like, oh, okay, and this was, like 6 years back, and I was like, all right, Saturday night, something new to do. So I brought my friends along, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was my first independent show. It was my first introduction to wrestling in general. And after that, I never missed a Monday Night Raw, and I just absolutely fell in love with it.
Definitely. Now, you said you had a little bit of a background dancing and whatnot. What else did you do to get yourself ready? Because, I mean, some people can't just become a wrestler overnight. I mean, you had the athleticism in there. Did you do any sports or anything while you were in college or high school or anything like that, too?
Yeah, I was a freak athlete. I loved every sport. My main sport was field hockey. I almost went to college for field hockey. I played that since I was old enough to hold a stick. I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and my two older sisters both played it, so, I wanted to be just like them. So I played field hockey for a long time. I played basketball. I did crew, and I danced my whole entire life. So it was kind of like a mixture of everything I love to do. I was in acting for a while, so wrestling was basically all of my favorite things rolled into one. And the minute I saw it, I was like, there's no way I can't be involved in this.
Sure. Now, we all had to have everybody in the business had to have a little bit of a training. Where did you train and get your start, learning how to be a pro wrestler?
Sure. So I was looking up schools that were local, and the school that stood out to me was Create a Pro, and that is run by Kurt Hawkins, Brian Myers, and Pat Buck. And both of their reputations are amazing. They're both incredibly skilled wrestlers and great people. And, I went in one day just I want to try it out, and that's where I stuck. And I mean, the students there are incredibly talented. Everybody there is willing to help, and they're all such amazing people that are going to force you to be successful. So it's been a really great experience.
Sure. Now, you said you fell in love with wrestling. You wanted to be a wrestler. You started training. Now, you had that athleticism, but when you started training, I mean, was it a lot more than what you expected, or were you surprised by, I guess, how tough it really is?
Oh, my God. It was hell. I remember being, it's such a different thing to be athletic and then to be in wrestling shape. And I remember my first couple of weeks of practice were so intense. I mean, they were amazing, and I was having the time of my life, but I could not believe the soreness and how tired I was and the bruises, and even just from taking your first bump, you can't even imagine that feeling. And, now it's second nature, but even hitting the ropes, I remember being like, I don't want to hit the ropes. It's so painful. It's so painful. And I would just have all of these bruises, but it's, your body gets used to it. Your muscles get used to it, and you get better and better from there.
Mm-hmm. Now, a little known fact, you grew up right here in our backyard in Poughkeepsie, New York. Can you tell us a little bit about growing up in Poughkeepsie? I mean, did you ever go to any shows up here in the Civic Center? Because that was a pretty big wrestling town throughout. But I mean, were you kind of in it then, or you just you didn't watch it too much back then, right?
I didn't watch it at all. I had no idea wrestling really even existed. I knew about WWE, it was WWF at the time, but I never really turned it on. And yeah, Poughkeepsie, growing up in Poughkeepsie was so much fun. Small little town. We used to play tennis in the streets and then just try to avoid cars as they came by. Had a really close group of friends, and I know Northeast Wrestling does a lot of shows that are upstate, and they have the summer shows at the Dutchess Stadium. And I grew up watching baseball there. I watched the Renegades every year. Go to all these baseball games, and it's just really cool now that I get to be a part of a company that performs there and puts on such amazing shows there. So that's something I can't wait for.
No, definitely. Now, with training and whatnot, how long were you training maybe before you actually had your first match? Was it a while, or I don't really know too much of the process, but I mean, even when you got to that first match, how scary was it maybe for you? Was it because, it's go time pretty much, right?
Oh, it was terrifying. I was in pretty quickly. Creative Pro, we don't have that many girls that are there, so we kind of were, we were pushed. And I remember my first match must have been 6 or 7 months in, and it was so terrifying. I remember my whole family was there. My sister flew in from Florida to be there. The nerves were through the roof. They still are. Every time I have a show, I get so nervous in New York because we have to have the doctors. My blood pressure is always through the roof because I'm terrified and I'm loaded up on so much caffeine that I can't even stand it. But it was a really cool experience. It was the first time I got to perform in front of, a bunch of fans, and we had a pretty packed house that day. And I just fell in love with that aspect, that rush and that excitement and getting all the fans involved. I mean, there was no greater feeling than that.
Sure. Now, fast forward a little bit in your career to where you actually wrestled on Monday Night Raw, and you actually wrestled Asuka. I mean,
I did.
A lot of people want to be on Monday Night Raw, and look at you, wrestling Asuka. Now, you didn't get the victory that night, but what was it like,
Not at all.
what was it like, making it on Monday Night Raw, having a match, and just, I don't know, just being, because that's probably the first time you probably wrestled in front of that many people. I mean, I don't know how many people were there that night, but I'm sure it was a lot than maybe any other place you've been.
Oh, my God, yeah. Oh, my God. I mean, so unexpected, being at a school that we have so much opportunity because of our trainer who is WWE superstar. So we get a lot of opportunities to go in, and unbeknownst to me, I had no idea that I was going to have a match, let alone even be able to wrestle in a WWE ring that day. It was the most incredible experience of my life. I'm a giant Japanese wrestling fan, so the fact that I got to wrestle Asuka on top of that was insane. It was just such an eye-opening experience. Everybody was amazing and wonderful, and these are people I've looked up to for the last 5-6 years and who I've idolized and who I've wanted to be like, and these are people giving me feedback and cheering me on, and it was the biggest learning experience and the biggest honor to be able to do that.
Sure. Now, can you take us maybe a little bit of behind the scenes with this, like how it came about? I mean, I know you wrestled for Creative Pro, Brian Myers. Is it something that, like, hey, they need a woman wrestler tonight, and then does he like suggest the wrestlers that he has, and they just kind of like pick you out from that bunch, or did you know like how the process went?
Yeah. So when WWE is in town, they use extras, so they can basically use extras for backstage segments. They can use them for matches or any kind of place that they need to elevate the show. So me and another girl from Creative Pro, Kristen Stuntlander, we got invited to go through Brian, through people asking us, hey, like, do you have any girls that could come down and do extra work? So we ended up going to Baltimore, Maryland. And we just thought, you never know when you get there what they're going to use you for, if you're not going to be used. So we just kind of got there, and as the day went on, we were just kind of sitting and, spectating and watching everything kind of happen and taking everything in. And they basically asked us to have a match. And they said, we're going to probably use one of you tonight. So you guys are going to have a match. We're going to see how you work, and then we're going to go from there. So we were like, oh, my God, we got a chance to wrestle in front of all these amazing people. And Sarah Stock was there, who's one of the most incredible wrestlers in the entire world. So just to be able to get feedback from her and to be able to perform in a WWE ring was insane. I mean, I've never been more nervous in my entire life. And then they said, you know what, we're gonna go with you tonight. So I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, well, you're gonna wrestle Asuka tonight. So it was pretty crazy. And me and Kristen, actually, funny story, before we got to Raw, we got in a car accident on our way to Raw, and we were like 15 minutes away from my house. So we were driving her car, so then we had to get picked up, drop back to my house. Then we had to take my car, and it was pouring rain. So we were outside in the rain because the car was smoking. It wasn't safe to be in the car, and my phone got so wet that it was destroyed. So we went like 5 days. I went with 5 days without a phone, so nobody knew I was going to have the match. Like, my parents didn't know. My family, my friends, my school, nobody knew. So I was like, oh, my God, like, what am I going to do? I'm going crazy. So it was a lot of emotions all at once, but it ended up being incredible.
Wow. So, okay, so even when they call you in for extra work, I mean, do they say just, like, bring your gear just in case kind of a thing? And then even with that, I mean, even when that, like, even they're like, okay, hey, you're going to wrestle tonight. I mean, what goes through your head? Because it's like, hey, I just thought I was coming here to, be the background or something, right? And now it's like all of a sudden you're put on TV.
Yeah, I mean, I had also just gone through a really bad injury. I had broken my nose pretty badly. I had shattered it. I went through surgery, and then I hadn't
then you
been at
fought
practice.
Asuka. That could have
I was
been
recovering, so I get there, and they're like, I'm like, oh my God, crap. Like, this is the first time I've literally been in a ring since my surgery, so I'm not saying anything. I'm kind of keeping everything on the down low,
Yeah.
And, because you're not about to say, hey, guess what? I just broke my nose, guys. But, yeah, I mean, it was pretty insane to be like, you're going to wrestle on TV tonight in front of, 15,000 people that are here and then another how many million on television live. So I remember walking down the runway, and Ref Bennett was my ref, and he actually comes from the area. This is somebody who's been in the same companies that I've worked in on the independents, and it was so cool to have that moment with him. And he's like, just look around, take everything in. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, it's insane.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, everybody listening to the show they understand wrestling. We get how it works in a way, but I mean, you're fighting. I don't know how to put this. I don't know. You're fighting somebody who speaks mainly Japanese. Without giving it away, I mean, how does that work? You know what I mean? Because it's like, I mean, I'm sure she understands English to a certain point, but at the same time, if she's saying, I don't know how to go around this that good, but I'm just, how does that work in a way? Is there anything you could tell us?
Asuka is an absolute ray of light, but yeah, she does not speak much English. So, kind of talking about what we were going to do. That was just through kind of being physical and kind of showing each other. And we just kind of worked through it. Sarah Stock was also there, kind of helping us out. And like, she was like the language barrier almost. So we were kind of deciding, what we were going to do, how we were going to run things, how the match was going to work. But But yeah, she really didn't speak any English, so we just kind of had to go through body language and, run through things, and it ended up working. So it was pretty awesome.
I mean, I remember it. I remember it too. And then I remember the match, and then even like matches when I see guys wrestling down in Mexico or even in New Japan or whatnot, and I'm just staring at it because it's like, there's got to be some kind of communication, and then even that language barrier.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big barrier, and if you don't know what the guy or girl's doing, I mean, it's it is what it is. But it just amazes me sometimes how you guys pull it off like that. But I never.
Yeah, exactly. Especially on live TV, you never know what's going to happen. So, if something wants to change, you can't really change it, but you just kind of gotta trust each other and feel each other out. And luckily we're both really on the same page. I was just kind of following what she was giving me, and it ended up being a great experience. And, her kicks were insane. And, they were the best, get the hardest kicks I've ever taken in my life. But it was incredible, and I hope that, one day I can be half as good as she is.
For sure. Hey, and even after an experience like that, after the match, you go backstage. Like, what's it like after the match for you? Because I mean, once again, like you said, you were just there to kind of be there if they needed you. But I mean, they put you in a match. Can you tell the fans maybe out there what kind of happens after the match? Like, does anybody talk to you about the match afterwards or whatnot? Or what you did?
Yeah, you know what? The community over at WWE is insanely amazing. The people that I met there were so over the top supportive, and they're all there for the same reason, and put on a really, really good show. So I had a lot of people walking me through. I mean, people saw me backstage freaking out, I'm pacing back and forth. And after the match, when we got back there, got a lot of really great feedback. People tell you, that was really great. Actually, thanks Vince. So there's a lot of people that were watching on the monitor. You kind of go back into Gorilla, and they just tell you how it went. And I spoke to Sarah Stock, and she was explaining to me how the match went. And, it's really cool because everybody really does watch, and they really do care, and they'll give you feedback, and they're extremely positive. So it's just a really positive environment to be at. And, on the outside looking in, you don't really think that maybe it's that positive because it's so competitive. And these are people that have been wrestling for years and years and years, and I've only been wrestling for a little less than 2. So the fact that everybody, went out of their way to help me is something spectacular, and it's something that I'll never forget.
No, for sure. It's always interesting to hear about those kind of stories. Now, I don't know if you want to tell us this because we talked probably a few weeks ago. You had a funny little story about your tights. Can we talk about this little story or what happened? And I think it'd be funny for everybody to tell, but maybe you could just talk about what happened and maybe who lent you some tights.
Yeah, so this is great. So they told me, go to hair and makeup, get your makeup done, get ready, feel great. So I'm getting my makeup done, and I remember venting to the makeup artist because I had brought one pair of tights with me. And I'm such a tight phobe. If anyone knows me at shows, I have 7 or 8 pairs of tights because I get so freaked out of something's not going to look good, or you can see the sheer underneath my trunk. So I get all freaked out. And I remember putting on my tights, and then when I went to makeup, all my tights just running. So they ripped, the whole front ripped. So I remember being like, oh my God, I'm about to be on Monday Night Raw, and my tights are ripped. Oh my God, this is so unprofessional, freaking out, to the max. So I got my makeup done, and then I was walking, backstage, and the makeup artist said to me, and she said, oh, somebody was hearing you, stressing out about your tights, and they have an extra pair for you. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And she's like, yeah, Lexi has them. So she'll come back. And I'm thinking, Lexi, okay. So I'm standing there, and Alexa Bliss comes over and gives me an extra pair of tights. And she's like, oh, here you go. I had an extra pair of tights, and I heard that you were really stressed out about the ones in the rips. Don't worry about it. Take mine. And I was like, are you kidding me? There's a little part inside you that's just that's really freaking cool. That's just going to give me your tights.
Sure.
So she ended up giving me tights, and they were amazing, beautiful tights. And I went out there, and I felt $100. And then I came back, and I was like, do you want them back? She's like, oh, no, keep them. So I was like, thank you. So everyone's really willing to lend a hand and be be the best, and I will not throw out those tights because I just think it's like such a great story.
No, it definitely is a great story. Now, as a woman in wrestling today, now you said you didn't grow up watching it, but I mean, there's been a lot of history through the years with WWE, especially in how women were used, like the Attitude Era compared to today. I mean, how do you feel as a woman in wrestling in 2018, just being able to, put on great matches, being able to be a part of, I'm going to say it, the women's revolution, if you will, because women are definitely being portrayed a lot better than they ever have been, and just being able to, be that role model out there for any young girls. I have 2 daughters, and, just being a role model for girls, watching you out there, being like, hey, I don't have to be, I'm not being used as like an object, if you will. I actually get to be a wrestler, be a champion one day. How does that feel for you? Just being able to be that role model in this kind of this age of women's wrestling.
Honestly, that's why I do what I do. Being surrounded by such strong, independent, intelligent women who are so athletic, who are so driven, who are so motivated to make such a difference. I mean, it's probably the reason that I actually wrestle because, like you were saying, women weren't taken seriously. They were used as, eye candy and sex appeal. And of course, you want to look a certain way and you want to portray yourself a certain way still. But at the time, these women who are athletic and driven, who put hours and hours into practicing, into training, into weightlifting. I mean, it goes all over through acting classes, through, speech classes. And a lot of young girls, surprisingly, even for me, have come up to me and said, you inspire me. I want to be just like you. And there's really no better feeling on the planet because you're showing other girls that, hey, this may be a male-driven business, but you are putting your stamp into something that is so much greater than that. You're making this about people and about superstars and about talent, and it goes way past anything, way past the looks and the attitude. And to be a part of something this incredible is great. And being a women wrestler is so difficult. There's so many adversities that we deal with every single day, between people judging and, being in a male-dominated business and, having people comment on every little thing that you do in your life. I mean, your life is public, so it is really difficult. So I have more respect than for every female who's in this business because we really have to deal with a lot, and we still do it because of how much we love it.
Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend you can see Kasey Catal at Northeast Wrestling. Head on over to northeastwrestling.com. Get your tickets. She'll be in Bethany, Connecticut with Hale Collins, part of the Now. Kasey, where can the fans keep up with you on social media?
All over Facebook, I'm Kasey Catal. Instagram, I am Catal_KC, the letters, Kasey. And then on Twitter, I am Kasey Catal. So find me, follow me, and I'll see you on Saturday. Perfect. Kasey, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
What's up, AWP fans? Before I get into anything, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for making Another Wrestling Podcast the 2018 Wrestling Radio Awards Show of the Year. I'm humbled and I'm grateful to have a huge fan base, and the support system you guys deliver to us is just, I'm lost for words. I really am. So thank you for going out of your way and giving us those votes. I really appreciate that. Now we got to get into what I like to call the Minority Report. For the past 2 weeks on Raw, there has been one thing that has been very noticeable to me. And no, I am not talking about Kurt Angle and his inability to cut a promo. I mean, for the shit that he says, oh, it's not up to me, it's not up to them, it's up to the fans. If it was up to us, Kurt, then you're putting Finn Balor in the main event at WrestleMania. I don't want to see Roman Reigns. I will lead that charge. But that's neither here nor there. The one thing that I noticed in 2 weeks, the cruiserweights, ladies and gentlemen, their presence has not been felt on Raw. And I don't think it's done by accident. I think they are actually really trying to restructure this brand of 205 Live. I am in full support of this because I want to see this brand of 205 Live excel just like NXT. So I don't want to see them on Raw as second-class performers in gimmick matches and jokes. I want to see these athletes of the cruiserweights built the way they should be. If they're not going to mix in the 205 Live guys with the main roster guys and let these guys go out there and perform, I don't want them on Raw. They could honestly go out there and have some bracket matches for their 205 Live tournament, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So because of that, I think it's a smart move. Keep them off of Raw. If they're not going to be booked the way they need to be booked to get the 205 brand over, then don't put them on Raw. I do find it interesting that there was no mention of 205 Live, period, on Raw. Not a mention of the tournament, not even a mention of anything going on. It's starting to slowly become its own separate brand, and in a way, I think that's a positive. At the end of the day, I think keeping them off of Raw is probably the best way to get them over. Because if they're not going to mix in with any of the main roster guys, if I'm not going to see a Cedric Alexander versus an AJ Styles just to get the 205 Live brand going, then Triple H, I salute you, because keeping these guys off of Raw is the best thing for the brand of 205 Live. I want to hear your thoughts on 205 Live. Should they keep them off Raw? Should they put them on Raw? Should they put them on NXT? What are your thoughts? Tweet at me, at Mike Cologne for real. Tweet at the podcast, at A Wrestling Podcast. And if you're angry and you don't like what I have to say and you just want to troll us, then tweet at Angry Cooter, because he loves to hear people bitch and complain. Peace, bitches.
All right, the Minority Report. Since Minority Mike isn't here, Cooter, what did you think about that and what he had to say? Do you agree with him? You know, how they really haven't been showcasing it as much, like really on Raw, how they're kind of gearing it to, you got to tune into 205 Live kind of to see it, and how it's becoming its own brand and not maybe as a showcase anymore. Do you agree with what Mike was saying?
I think they realized that they can't have this tournament going on where, like, okay, we haven't seen the guys in there every week because, you know what, we got to have the next round and so on and so forth. And what's the point of, you know, putting a bunch of scrubs from 205 Live in a tag match on Raw and making them look stupid? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm enjoying the tournament as the same way I was enjoying it for the Cruiserweight Classic. Now, there's just some weird, oddball names in there. You know, I mean, you got that Buddy Murphy coming up next week, and I think he's going up against Ivory, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. I got to agree with him. If we're not going to get, like he said, a Cedric Alexander versus an AJ Styles, and let some of these guys, you know, venture outside the 205, you know, Live roster, then just keep it as a separate brand. Don't feature them on a show where, you know, it's going to be completely different, because if you've noticed, 205 Live went from 3 matches a week back to, say, 2 matches. So the matches are longer. They're a little bit more action packed. They're letting them feature it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not just and it's the same feeling that I get from NXT, where I'm not seeing the same guys every week. So it's kind of mixing it up. And you know what? Guys like TJ Perkins, who were after the tournament being featured, we're seeing him every week. And the roster wasn't deep enough for them to be on every week. So I think these longer segments and less segments, and you know, and eventually maybe that roster will grow, and maybe we can add a little bit more time to the show. I don't know. They really got to figure out what they want to do. If this is the route they want to continue, if it's going to continue to be live, is it going to continue to be after SmackDown? I mean, they got a lot of things they got to figure out.
Yep. You know, it is interesting because it is under a new realm, a new helm, if you will, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, taking the reins of 205 Live. We're seeing new things unfolding with it, and you know, it's like I said, it's the very early stages of it. But it definitely is interesting using newer talent, because, like you said, you know, you get sick of seeing the same 5 matches every week, the same guys go against each other every week. It's like, you guys need a better roster than, you know, 6 guys on it. So it's good to see some fresh faces on it. And, you know, hopefully it takes off a lot better than it ever has. And I think if anybody could do it, Triple H can be that guy to take over.
Here's a quick question I want to throw out there. Do you think that this tournament lacks star power that because it lacks that star power, it's not as you don't want to watch it. It's not as must see as it would have been as if a Rey Mysterio or a Ricochet was added in there last minute, or a Leo Rush.
I'll tell you what, I think we talked about this a while ago, to where it was like, how funny is it that they won't put the Cruiserweight Championship on any of their cruiserweights, to where Neville had it. Kalisto.
Oh, yeah, Kalisto. Mr. Lucha thing. One of Minority Mike's Twitter blocks, I might add.
I mean, they tried giving it to Zawa, and he had it for a week. And then
he had it for like 2 or 3 days.
Okay, it would be nice.
He won it at the pay-per-view, and I think he lost it at the next 205 Live, like 2 days later.
Man. And then you put it on Enzo, and it's like, do they not have confidence in any of the guys they signed to the Cruiserweight division? And going back to your point, though, about star power, I'll tell you what, everybody's going to mark the fuck out when if Neville is in this Cruiserweight tournament. I'll tell you, I doubt it.
He's not. It's a field of 6. It's a field of 16, and next week is the last 2 matches. So I really think he should. That would have
been nice. No.
Yeah, it would have been nice for him to come back. I mean, I hope if he had left, it was because of the Enzo thing, and if they got rid of him, and if they bring in a Ricochet, they bring in more guys that he could work with, where it won't get boring. And again, it's not like he has to work every week on 205 Live. We could have him on 205 Live and throw him in a match here and there on Raw, just against anybody, because he has that experience.
Well, going back to that, it's not that it's lacking star power. I think it's just, let these guys talk in the ring. Don't give them a mic to talk. I don't need to hear stupid storylines. I don't need to hear, I just want to see them wrestle. This is what makes 205 Live great, is the fast-paced wrestling, and that's what makes them different than NXT, different than Raw, SmackDown, or whatever. It's just they talk in the ring, and that's where they should talk, is in the ring. I don't need silly gimmicks or whatever from these guys, and I just want to see some crazy shit.
That's right. # don't tug your peckers. All right, moving on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Angry Cooter, and I'm about to give you the must-see matches of the week, a.k.a. the Angry Cooter mixtape. The 4 shows, Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT. My 4 shows that I watch, well, plus you got to add in the Mixed Match Challenge. But, I mean, really, I can't pick the best match of the night on that show when there's only one now, can I, bitches? That being said, Raw, I had to go Miz and Cena, though I really did want to go Bayley and Sasha Banks. However, I just felt like it was too much of the same sequences from their Brooklyn match. So it was like pretty much seeing the same thing a second time. I don't know. But still a fantastic match. Had to go Miz Cena, though. SmackDown, to me, it's a tie. I mean, the 2 new add-ins to now make it a fatal 5-way match. Dolph Ziggler versus Sami Zayn. Wow, that was a fucking amazing match. But more surprising to me was Baron Corbin actually having a great match with Kevin Owens. That is a must-see match. 205 Live, again, I couldn't pick between the 2 matches. I mean, you had a great match between Tony Nese and Drew Gulak, where Drew Gulak beat the fuck out of Tony Nese. Fantastic. But, I mean, Mark Andrews' first fucking match on 205 Live against Akira Tozawa. These 2 just had one of those matches where we had a little bit of everything. We had a little bit of grappling, a little bit of high flying. So it's just fucking great show, if you ask me. Now, NXT. Probably for me this week, the creme de la creme. Roderick Strong versus Pete Dunne for the UK title, Credo. That's right. In Atlanta at center stage, Roderick Strong, UK title against Pete Dunne, Credo. How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
Don't care. And those are the must-see matches of the week, bitches.
Well, guys, we talked a lot today, but what I want to talk about today is about shining the light on different talent. We saw it on Raw. A lot of people were talking about this, Scooter, to where it was almost like Apollo Crews was a different Apollo Crews than we've seen, and only because they actually let him do things in a match, in a high-profile match, that, yeah, we've seen him do before, but he actually looked like he was, booked strong to do it. He wasn't just jobbing to anybody. It was like, wow, this is what happens when you actually book him to actually look good in a match in a way. And a lot of people were talking about this. Out of that whole match, a lot of people kept going back to Apollo Crews and the time he was allowed to shine. And hopefully that's just, good for his future in the WWE. And maybe it's things of times of saying that, Triple H is probably in the helm of running Raw now. So I don't know. But what I want to talk about is a lot of other guys that maybe should put the spotlight back on them, if you will. Or guys who are just already there, they're not using, but, just give them a chance to shine again, if you will, Cooter. So like I mentioned, Apollo Crews, an incredible athlete. This guy could be a world champion, but, he's probably going to be held back unless he's
a world champion.
World champion. He could be a world champion.
You're bugging. Okay, go ahead.
but regardless, if he's given that right opportunity to shine, I think he will. So Apollo Crews, you give him that little bit of opportunity on Raw, and people were noticing it. So Cooter, out of anybody that's on the roster now in the WWE, who do you think that just needs another look at, like to where they're just maybe not being used in the right way? I don't know.
All right, I'm going to throw an oddball out there because I've always been a fan of Luke Harper. I don't know why. I just hate the fact that we've put him back with the upside-down Sheamus and repackaged the tag team as the Bludgeon Brothers. With your fucking – they look like plastic sledgehammers that they walk to the ring with. It's just a terrible gimmick. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're being booked very strong, but it's like – Luke Harper doesn't need that fucking guy. It's just Eric Rowan really does nothing for me. Not to say that he isn't, a good wrestler. I've always wanted to see Luke Harper get a strong singles push. I mean, not necessarily world title, but I mean, him as an IC champ or a US champ. I mean, let's think back to those incredible matches that he had with Dolph Ziggler when he was the Intercontinental Champion.
No, for sure. Poor Luke Harper. Every time I see him on TV, man, I just look at his face and I could just feel like he's so pissed off at what he's doing right now.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm just fucking getting paid. Just leave me alone kind of look. And it's like,
yeah.
Sorry, Luke, man. This guy was the Intercontinental Champion, and granted he didn't have the greatest ring gear. He had his own look. I mean, he was like a Bruiser Brody type of guy, and they just didn't, once again, book him the right way.
And I think it was crazy, Credo, was the crowd was really starting to get behind him, too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like they didn't really give him that good of an opportunity. And, and they had to repackage. Like, they should have never broke up the Wyatt family. They were fine the way they were. They didn't all have to come out at the same time. They could all did their own little thing. But, Luke Harper is great on his own. Eric Rowan, man, he needs somebody. And that's it just feels like he tried doing the solo wrestling with him, and it wasn't going. And he just literally needed somebody, and he needed the Wyatts. More than the Wyatts needed him, but at the same time, Luke Harper, talented, but now he's just, granted his ring gear looks a little bit better, but he's fucking carrying around Thor's hammer, and it just looks silly.
What do you mean his ring gear looks fucking terrible? Well, those outfits, oh my God, are fucking atrocious.
I mean, compared to a dirty white beater.
Rejects from fucking Mortal Kombat, Credo.
Looks like he has a Deadpool outfit on in a way.
Yeah, dude.
But I mean, like he would have been better as a solo wrestler. Granted, he had it was like a dirty wife beater shirt, a little white tank top. It looked like he was always like stained with sweat. But he changed at one point to like a black a shirt like that, and he looked fine. But it's just, I don't know, somebody just didn't dig him in creative, and that's what happened. And talented, he's not a giant per se like Braun Strowman, but he is a big guy. And they were lacking big guys, at one point, and he would have been perfect, like a perfect guy to just be one of those big guys wrestling. And
he's not your typical big guy. He's a very athletic guy who can do all sorts of shit, dude.
And what's sad is that I think they're actually trying to push the Bludgeon Brothers to be tag team champions, and I don't see, I don't know. It's not working for me, and I don't know how much it is working for anybody out there, but. I don't know. I think they're probably, if this doesn't work out this time, they're either going to be let go or sent back down to NXT or something. I have no idea, but
I got a feeling we're going to have a SmackDown tag team title. It's going to be the Usos versus the Bludgeon Brothers on the pre-show.
Mm-hmm. I think
we can't break the Usos, streak of
I hear you. But, I think that you're definitely right there, too, on point with Luke Harper as, like, just giving him another spotlight to shine in, if you will. Another person I want to bring up is Bo Dallas, and I think I'm going to probably bring up the Miz Taraj. Now, hear me out. This guy was an NXT champion, Bo Dallas. He was a little bit annoying. He's found his character a little bit in the Miz Taraj, but they're not letting him do anything. It's just like he came in as an NXT champion, and then started having like something silly with running around the ring, Bo leave and all that, but then it just fell off the wagon, and then he just never got back on it. And I don't know, I feel like if you give him a little bit of spotlight, something to work with, I think, you could have a nice mid-card guy in Bo Dallas, a nice mid-carder to work with, I don't know.
I can't. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you've done the credo. I call it the credo, the contradiction. You said he's found something. He's found his niche with the Miz Taraj, and he's doing so great at it. But they don't let him do anything. So which is it? Well, he's either found his niche because he's doing something, or it's like, here's the thing with Bo Dallas that drives me nuts. He doesn't cut promos very well. He's fucking atrocious. That's just all there is to it. I mean, I would much rather listen to Apollo Crews cut a promo. There's a lot of guys who are great in the ring. I'll give you a classic example. You love Aleister Black, don't you?
I do.
Okay. Have you heard him ever cut a promo?
Not like a full one. I just hear him talk. Okay. Talked a little bit, yeah.
It was one he was talking, and that's when the Velveteen Dream came out. He cut a promo this week, and he nearly put me to sleep. It was him and Killian Dane from Sanity in the ring. That looks like they're going to start a feud. And my God, I wanted to mute the TV and put something else on and just watch, because there's just some people, they could be so talented, and Bo Dallas fits in that category. He can't cut a promo, in my opinion, for the life of me. He sounds obnoxious, and not in a way where it's like good heat. He doesn't get good heat with me. He gets like, dude, you bore me half to death. You have to wear suits now, and you have to wear them a size smaller so they hold in that gut, because you're not in the best of shape. I mean, come on, dude. Seriously. You're getting as pudgy as your brother Bray.
Well, okay. Well, my one thing was with Bo Dallas. I mean, if they'd given him something different, maybe he could have been something. But here's another Miz Taraj member, Curtis Axel. Now, these two guys alone are second-generation superstars to where, dude, I think I said it a long time ago, but it's like...
Curtis Axel's a third generation.
Third generation, I'm sorry. Well, I'm like, I think I said it a long time ago, but it's almost like use daddy's gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe make Bo Dallas IRS or something, but I know that might not work 100%.
Oh, my God.
But Curtis Axel, man, could be the new Mr. Perfect. Like, he should have just ran with it, and that would have been, I think, just awesome. I mean, he did little funny things here and there to where he was never eliminated in a Royal Rumble and all that stuff, and he got kind of silly, but he's a decent wrestler. He was even a Paul Heyman guy at one point, and they just didn't know what to do with it, and then it just kind of like, we're not going to do it anymore, and he just kind of got pushed to the back of the line. But I feel like, for me, Curtis Axel would be the perfect, Mr. Perfect, like, give him that gimmick. He could just if nothing else is working, man, you do what Daddy did. You know what I'm saying? Like, do exactly what he did, but just do it now in 2018. Same music, spit out the gum, bring a towel. I would love that, because it's his dad that did it before him. And yeah, I know he wants to find himself, and he hasn't found himself yet. So just do what your dad did. Be that, third generation superstar now. And I think if they shine that kind of spotlight on Curtis Axel, I think he would get over with the new Mr. Perfect gimmick. I think so.
I think you're 1 for 3 with me right now. I can follow you with the old Apollo Crews. Bo Dallas, garbage. Him and Curtis, and don't get me wrong, I like Curtis Axel. I remember him winning the IC title in his hometown, and I couldn't have been happier for a guy, because the crowd really got behind him, and they dropped. That was his one opportunity. But let's be honest, nobody's buying tickets to see fucking Curtis Axel.
No, I know, but
you know what I'm saying. And that gimmick, as great as it was, you know what? I don't know if he could pull that off the way his father did. I mean, dude, let's be honest. Kurt Hennig, 1 in a million. 1 in 10 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just because you're his son. I hate it when they tried doing that to Ted DiBiase Jr. and making him the $1 Million Man. Like, that shit just drove me nuts. You couldn't find so bad that you actually brought back the V-Man, Virgil himself, to be his bitch for a little while. And poor Virgil at his age was taking bumps on Raw with some of these big motherfuckers. All right, now let me throw out a real name for you. This is somebody who needs to be featured.
All right.
We shine the light on talent, Credo. I'm talking about Pete Dunne. Why are we not using him more? Granted, I get it. He's a UK guy with a UK title that you feel should only be defended against UK people in the UK. That doesn't mean we can't have him more often on 205 Live because he's a very small dude. He would fit perfect. I mean, I could imagine a grappling match between him and Drew Gulak. I think that would be a fucking mad classic, dude. I can see him on Raw. He's got the fucking charisma. He's got the fucking entrance. He's got it all. That dude is a total package. Why are we not fucking pulling the trigger on this guy?
I just looked up his weight too. He's actually 205 exactly. So
exactly. And I think he was a little bit heavier during the UK tournament. But right now, I'm telling you, that dude looked like since the UK tournament has lost some weight. He's gotten a little bit more cut up. Dude is fucking, taking his career seriously. He's showing that he has the ability. Let's pull the trigger on somebody who the fans actually give a shit about. Not like fucking Bo Dallas.
I was being nice.
Curtis Axel, right? You got to admit, right now I'm 2 for 2.
Yeah, you're 2 for 2. But I feel bad. I'm like the charity case over here. I'm trying to let everybody participate over here. But no, I agree with you 100% with Pete Dunne. I mean, he definitely has the look. He has the fan base too. I mean, people even that didn't even know him before wanted to know about him, and he definitely stood out amongst the rest in the UK tournament too. But I think we talked about it last week or the week before, to where it was like, well, what do you do with 205 Live? If they're not going to have a UK show, just take the best UK talent, merge it with 205 Live, call it something else, whatever, and then you have a brand new division to where you can showcase the Cruiserweight Championship and maybe the UK Championship on that show specifically. But regardless,
but only in the UK.
But only in the UK.
But see, that's the thing. They've pretty much done that. I mean, most of the guys that were worth keeping from that tournament, I think Burchill was one of them. I think his name was Danny Burchill. There's another one. Wasn't no, only Lorcan wasn't in that, was he?
No.
The UK tournament? No, he wasn't. What the fuck is wrong with me? I apologize. That's why I didn't say he was. I was fact checking. I'm not Minority Mike Colon, a.k.a. the Booker T of AWP.
But, well, no, I mean, if they need to put him on, like, the main roster, too. I think he would be fine on, like, Raw or SmackDown. And, if this whole UK thing, folds, if you will, to where it's like they really don't know what to do with it anymore. But, I mean, you have a guy who has a unique nickname, the Bruiserweight. That's a fucking awesome nickname to put him on anything, especially if you have him in the Cruiserweight division. Your Cruiserweight champion. That'd be kind of funny to say every time. But, Pete Dunne, 100% I agree with you. Maybe.
All right, you ready for my third one? I'm going to go 3 for 3 with you right now.
All right. Maybe I can redeem myself after this.
Maybe. Well, you're going to try. But I'm going to shoot that shit down, too. Just because that's what I do. I like to break your balls. I want to throw a name out there that I thought was going to be future endeavored once his partner got future endeavored. I want to talk about Aiden English. All right. Granted, we've used him in a role where he's basically been Rusev's bitch. Okay. But that being said, before that, he was doing the whole singing gimmick. And I remember Mike, when this first started, was like, oh, I hope they don't, make him use that singing gimmick that he used down in NXT. Sure as shit, the next week comes, and he's fucking singing, and Mike is freaking out. But look what it's led to. He sings Rusev Day.
That's right.
Well, he's actually had a few matches. I remember one in particular. There's one with Sami Zayn, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy can actually work. He's a good wrestler. Now this gimmick is over because of the rub from Rusev.
Mm-hmm.
And I think potentially down the line, I would really think that they could have a little bit, because these two are going to break up eventually.
Yeah.
You have to break them up. I think this is somebody the crowd could get behind as an underdog against a Bulgarian brute like Rusev. And I think, dude, I think it could be fun.
Well, Aiden English, he isn't quite easy on the eyes, if you will, as a superstar.
And Bo Dallas is?
Well, the guy has like receding hairline, and he's only like 30 something. The guy looks like 20 years older.
Funny.
So here's my thing with Aiden English, to where he kind of lies in a category for me to where like some of the women do, to where not every woman has to be a wrestler. Like some of them can be just managers or valets or whatever. To where Aiden English, yes, he's a he's I have no problem with him wrestling. He's a great wrestler, but at the same time, he almost falls into that category when he's with Rusev, to where maybe he doesn't have to wrestle. He could be a great manager, a great mouthpiece, being that kind of like a singer manager, which is what he was kind of pretty much doing with him, but where he could also still take a few bumps and wrestle in the meantime. But definitely a good mid-card talent. I don't see him going anywhere further than the mid-card. But like I said, not exactly a WWE champion material.
No, I see what you're saying, but
definitely a decent mid-card guy.
That background guy, kind of like who am I thinking of? Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. There you go.
Guy.
Who's your fourth, Credo? Who's your fourth?
So I think I've been saying this for years now, and I really hope something happens with this, because his partner, Sheamus, from what I understand, with some of the injuries he has, I don't see Sheamus lasting too much longer wrestling. So Cesaro, man, I feel like every ball that he's been given, he's carried it. Everything that he's been given, he's made it shine somehow or some way, whatever. He was a Paul Heyman guy, just like my other Curtis Axel guy was. But man, the dude is in shape. The dude is an incredible wrestler. The fans do get behind him. The fans still love him. Granted, he hasn't grabbed that brass ring, but if I must say it, he definitely is the bar as far as talent. I mean, the guy is a wrestler, a wrestler's wrestler. I mean, wrestlers are fans of him. He's talented. The dude got his teeth shoved up into his fucking skull, and he still finished the match. Like, he goes the distance, and I feel like if they given him that right spotlight, a certain push, I would have loved to see a Cesaro versus fucking Brock Lesnar match at Mania, to where you have that kind of a match as him as the underdog versus like a Brock Lesnar, to where we don't need another fucking Roman Reigns match. Give him that right kind of a spotlight. I mean, Cesaro, I don't know. I think he's a great talent. He's all around. He doesn't need to cut the greatest promos, but he can still talk on the mic the way he talks on the mic. I don't think I have nothing wrong with the way he talks on the mic, but I feel like given that right opportunity, he could go farther. And if they're not going to use him on Raw, fucking put him over to SmackDown and have him fight. I would love to see a fucking AJ Styles versus Cesaro match. I want to see him as a WWE champion. And hopefully it happens before, he gets fucking typecast as just tag team talent for the rest of his life. Fucking use Cesaro, man. Use it. Use him.
I want to agree with you.
Agree with me.
I want to, but I'm going to throw out another credo for you here.
Okay.
All right, because 2 weeks ago, I forget what we were talking something about tag teams. Okay, and you had basically said that you should just put the tag team belts on. Because it was Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins. Can't we just put these belts on a real tag team? Mind you, probably a year ago, how much you hated the fact that they put Cesaro and Sheamus together. But now, like a year later, they're the bar and they are a real team to you, right?
Well, I still hate that they're together, because I feel like both of the guys could be something bigger outside of what they are. But if you're going to put Cesaro and Sheamus up against like Jason Jordan and somebody,
okay, here's my thing. I think Cesaro is an incredible singles wrestler. I think he does have the tools in the ring to get it done. I just think he excels as a tag team wrestler. And I hate saying that, because I would love to see him get a singles push. But he makes Sheamus watchable. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he makes his partner that much better. When they first started, they were the drizzling shits together. Now they have that cohesion. But that's because of Cesaro. I mean, him with Chris Hero when he was in Ring of Honor. My God. And Chris Hero's no slouch. But, I mean, God, that's an incredible tag team. Him with Tyson Kidd. Nobody gave a fuck about Tyson Kidd until he was with Cesaro. Unfortunately for Cesaro, he is, I don't want to call him the Marty Jannetty, but like Shawn Michaels needed a Marty Jannetty to fucking, get him to the hilltop. And Cesaro is just making other guys great. I mean, I hate saying that because I want to agree with you. I do. But Cesaro is just probably the greatest tag team wrestler ever. I will say that because he's won gold with so many different teams and he's made other people better. I mean, look, he's not Dudley Boys, who was like the greatest team in my opinion ever, but I think he's the greatest tag team wrestler ever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I still want to see him in like just maybe a top mid card. Definitely, I want to see him main event something. I just want that spotlight. Give him like a month. Give him 2 months of just fighting with the top talent in that main event picture. And I don't know. I think from there we could really see a better Cesaro than what we've seen ever. And that's the whole point of this segment.
You can't
right?
do that. You're going to take away television time from Jinder Mahal, bro.
Yeah, and his back knee. I don't fucking need any.
And let me throw my fourth and final.
I heard it. Who do you got?
It's got to be obvious. It's got to be Dolph Ziggler. We've name dropped him a few times this fucking episode. You're talking about a guy who can do it all. Literally, he can fucking wrestle. He can sell. He can fucking cut probably some of the best promos. He's fucking passionate about what he does. And the fact that he signed for the money kind of makes me question that now, because it's like, all right, granted, I'm personally, if I'm in any business and someone's going to throw $1.5 million at me on downside, yeah, I'm going to take that fuck money. You're talking about a guy who honed his craft, who probably could have made the same, probably working less dates, for the next 2 years. Because you know how these guys are once they get out of WWE. For that first, year, they're real hot, and they get those good paydays, and they're working, once, twice a week. How many days a week you think you're working for Vince? Probably 5. You know what I mean? He's probably... I don't know. I don't know how it works. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know, but you know what? If a guy like Cody Rhodes can make good fuck money where he claims he's making as much as he was in the Indies as he was in WWE, I mean, I don't think Cody was making $1.5 million a year. Mm-hmm. But shit, man, Dolph Ziggler, did you sell out? Are you going to? I don't know. I hope we can shine the light on this guy who finally deserves it. If you're going to pay him that $1.5 million,
you better fucking work him like a regular star.
Let's see what the fuck this guy's got. I've always thought that Dolph Ziggler would be able to put, a secondary brand like SmackDown. And I hate saying that, but it is the secondary brand. I think it's a better brand, but it's a secondary brand. I think he can carry that shit on his back. I think he could have a great feud with a guy like AJ Styles. I think he could have a great feud with somebody like Sami Zayn. Great feud with somebody like Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. Hell, look at all the talent on SmackDown, bro.
I know, and Dolph, man, he's a great worker. He could sell. There's an old saying. It was from a movie. I forget where he's like he could sell ketchup popsicles to a lady in white gloves kind of a thing. He could fucking sell anything to anybody. He's a fucking he
can sell salt to a slug. You can sell water to a whale.
Yeah, and he's like a Mr. Perfect in that way, where what
is it with you and Mr. Perfect this week?
He's perfect. But what he does, what Dolph does, I think, I feel like he's the senior in his high school. And it's almost like he's deserved this spot. He deserves to be pushed in that main event spot for the time he's put in. You know,
he needs senior prom king, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm there.
And I feel that. I do. That's a great analogy.
And it's like, you know, a lot of guys are coming in where, you know, AJ Styles came in, you know, and he won the fucking WWE Championship in his, like, first year of just joining WWE from the outside. And fucking Dolph Ziggler is still, like, how many years later, just, you know, he actually paid his dues in the WWE. And that's where I feel like, you know, the championship should mean something like that sometimes, to where, not just because you've been there for 10 plus years, but, you know, the dude works. He's great on camera, off camera, in the ring, out of the ring. You could put the belt on him and send him on TV, and he won't fucking he'll make the company look good in a way. And I don't know. It's like, who hates him? Is it fucking Kevin Dunn backstage, or whoever the fuck that rat is that just fucking hates everything?
Vince.
Yeah, is it just because you don't like him? Like, fucking give Dolph Ziggler that chance. And hell, you fucking made Christian a champion for fucking 2 nights. Let's give Dolph Ziggler the championship for 2 months or something. You know, let's see what he could do with it.
If we could ever fire Bruce Pritchard, right? Why can't we fire Kevin Dunn? Somebody explain this to me. Well, I'm going to laugh at you. You made that analogy with Dolph, you know. Senior, no, it's being a senior and wanting to be prom king. I think that's hilarious. And then you're like, look at AJ Styles has been here for like was he 2 years now? It's like the freshman fucking making varsity. Don't you hate it when the freshman makes varsity?
That's what I'm saying. But then again, it is AJ Styles. But on the other hand, there's a lot of guys being looked over than Dolph Ziggler, and he shouldn't just be that. He shouldn't be like, almost like Bray Wyatt's turned into being like that job guy, to where like you have to beat this guy to make it to the next round. Dolph, I think, is above that and beyond that by now, to where give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, he's put in the time. Let him fucking shine now and put that spotlight on him, and let's see what he can do. I mean, to me, he's in that category of workers like Shawn Michaels. You know, just to what he's done in the ring. And hey, they gave him that super kick now, so I don't know. We'll see what he can do, because that's how he won the match, with the super kick. So maybe we'll bring that back into the spotlight, and we're not just having a super kick party every fucking match in the indies, right?
Oh, that's true, Credo. That's very true.
Bring it back as a finisher. But Dolph Ziggler, man, I think we brought some people to light on this show, and hopefully the WWE will bring them to light and maybe give them a second chance and not just use them as background talent. If you will. But did you guys agree with us? Did you like what we said? AnotherWrestlingPodcast.com. Check out the links at the top of the page. You can follow us on everything. Cooter, we're on iHeartRadio now. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Player
How
FM.
How the fuck did we get approved for that?
I don't know. We're going to see if they keep us approved. But we're on iHeartRadio. And
for a week. They're going to hear one episode and say, yo, listen, you guys can't fucking be here.
And then hopefully soon we'll be on Spotify. But we're all over the place. AnotherWrestlingPodcast.com. Like us, follow us, subscribe. That's all we ask for in return of giving you this great show every week, right?
Hey, Credo.
Yo.
How much you want to bet the next oddball pairing for a tag team is Bray Wyatt and Broken Matt Hardy?
I feel like we're just giving them bad ideas and they're going to run with it. They're going to tune into the show and turn out to this time and hear that.
Yeah,
like, you know what?
Because I'm sure Vince McMahon's like, Kevin Dunn, what do you think of this? I just had this idea that I heard from this angry Mark. Yeah, Vince. Yeah, that's a great idea, Vince. Great idea. Let me suck your pecker.
Well, that's what it's like each and every week here on Another Wrestling Podcast.
Bitches.
Hey, where the fuck are you going, Ma? We need you. Mike's missing the show this week.
I'm going on a trip and don't give me any shit. Mike is probably missing the show because he's out there fucking ring rats.
Oh, Mom.
Besides which, I'm not getting paid for this fucking shit.
What?
You better tell Credo to show me the fucking money.
Oh, Mom.